What's good, YouTube? It's Ray Jarrell. So in today's video, I want to bring you guys part 2 to this gun empty bunch mini scheme. So if you enjoy this video, go and drop a like on the video right now. Go ahead and sub and turn on post notifications on. So let's go in and dive right into this. So as far as personnel goes, you just want to make sure you have outside apprentice in this position right here, and everything else other than that is just fine. Just make sure you do have a speedy back in here, and that's pretty much all you're going to need. Now what's about to happen is I'm going to show you guys just a couple of setups versus just some random stock defenses, and then I'm going to go ahead and take you guys into some gameplay and actually show you guys how I use this scheme in game and the setups that I do have. So you're not going to get all of my setups just in this practice mode, but you're going to get them all in the game mode, and you know it's going to take about 5 minutes or so. So let's go and get started, man. So the plays I'm going to be breaking down in practice mode is going to be spacing, and I'm actually going to talk about trail. But as far as all the plays that I like in here, in case you're curious, I love spacing, curl flats, Z-spot, trail, of course. I don't really run Z-spot and go. It's good, but I don't really use it. But it's still good though. Verticals, wide curl isn't as good as it was last year, and divide wheel is the play that I put out a video on for part 1. So what we're gonna come out in, we're gonna come out in spacing, right? So spacing, when do I use spacing? So spacing is gonna be good whenever they're playing any style of zone drops or they're doing a lot of zone blitzing. And the good thing for us is that with this offense, they are going to have to zone drop if they want to stop what we're about to throw at them. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So for the first setup, you just want to take square and actually just put them on a curl, and that's legit it. So this right here is what I meant when I said if they're going to play any style of zone drops or if they're going to zone blitz you. This is very important that you run this setup, because what you're going to have happen 9 times out of 10, you will be throwing this triangle read. Now there's a couple times whenever they're tired of giving up triangle that you actually have square open, and when a user starts playing on that left side, then I'll show you how to read this right side. So let's go ahead and get started. So what you're going to notice versus cover 3 is that we're pretty much going to have circle, and we're also going to have triangle. Now something interesting happened there, and it's going to happen that way in game. I believe it's just how it's programmed. But if you actually can wait a little bit in the pocket, you're going to be able to see exactly what happened. It's going to happen that way every single time. So what's going to happen is this purple right here. So watch this purple. So he widens out, right? Now, technically, you can throw this ball right now. You know, look how far he has to get wide. So that's why I actually kind of love running this offense with my bunch to the short side. Now, I know in part 1 I said I love it to the wide side, but maybe I think they updated the game or something, but it's actually running a lot better when you put your bunch to the short side. So all these setups I'm giving you, make sure you have your bunch to the short side. Yeah, so just moving forward, make sure your bunch is to the short side. Now, what you're gonna notice that happens is that we can actually have this throw right here. We can throw that, we can lowball that easy. But if we wait just half a second, you're gonna watch that purple. The purple's like, oh hey, I need to go play that, and they get sucked. They literally get sucked into it right there. You have this throw just literally wide open, and if you throw it right when they're doing a little suck in animation, they actually get like a little, I don't know what to call it, but like they pull them back a little bit, then they let them run. So a lot of times you can actually get a lot of good fight forward animations like that. And also we'll have this read right here screaming open. So anytime they're playing anything with hook curls, those are going to be open. So that's cover 3, cover 4 drop, you know, anything of that nature. So that's how I love to do that. Now I will quickly show you cover 2 in case you're just curious, but I'm not gonna be going through like, you know, all the zone, all the mans, and everything like that. I'm not doing that. Just kind of showing you base what you should expect, you know, because you're gonna literally see me running again. You see X just screaming right in my face. That's normally going to be your read. So right there, you're just looking to see, you know, where the user is, and that's how you're going to play it like that. So not really a huge fan of a cover 2 unless they're trying to cover 2 blitz. Then yeah, that's going to be wide open, because you'll just make this read between circle and X, because the user would not be able to guard both of those, or triangle depending on what they're doing. So it's just a spacing, so it attacks, you know, spaces of the field. So anyways, moving on. So last play I want to talk about before I show you some gameplay is trail. Now since I rock with you guys, I'm actually going to give you a setup that is not in the gameplay. So for this setup, you just want to take square, put them on a streak. You want to take triangle. Now you can either put them on a slant or you can put them on a drag. Now I personally like the slant, and the only reason why is because users love to follow slant routes, and so they're going to be in the middle, but the whole time we're actually making an outside read. So it looks like we're trying to read the middle of the field, but we're actually reading the outside. So from here, you just want to take the circle receiver and actually motion him across. And what you're going to notice is that this little, you know, it's like basically like a corner route, but it gets just really, really open, and it gets over the purples, and it actually gets over cloud flats. And so quickly, I'm going to hop into replay just real quick and just kind of show you, you know, why I like to play the reads, etc. So the slant, like I said, normally the slant is going to hold that user. And so the user this time is normally going to be somewhere up in here where this spy is, because they're anticipating that you're trying to make this read between the slant and this actual, you know, wheel route, which it can get open right here. Not wheel route, excuse me. This halfback angle. Couldn't think of the name of the route, but you can tell it does get open right here. You can actually throw that ball right there. But the whole time we're basically reading this. So we essentially have a streak, you know, corner flood concept. That's pretty much what it is, flood concept. But instead of like a backside post or anything, it's actually an angle route there where actually you just making the user have to choose between. So the drag is actually going to pull down this purple, and that's what's going to allow this throw right here to get open. And it's good because the route is kind of slow developing. So this third will actually not have enough time to actually get there and play that. And normally you will always get that toe touch on the sideline. So quickly, I do want to show you cover two and show you that it does work versus cover two. But I will show you a third setup too that I like specifically versus cover two. But for now, just take the square, put them on a streak. You want to take triangle. I'm gonna put him on a drag this time just to show you both setups. And you want to go ahead and take this guy and motion him across. Now there is a setup where we actually do a motion over slant by him, but that's gonna be in the gameplay. But what you're gonna notice happen is that if I don't throw out a sack, but what's gonna happen is that drag route is gonna pull him down, and since he's on a post, well no, that's my second setup, excuse me. Since he's on a streak, it's gonna push him back, and that's going to actually open up that throw that you just seen me make. So quickly, let's go ahead and look at that. Don't want to spend too much time because I know I'm already kind of over my time limit. But what's going to happen is he's going to drop down essentially, and you can tell we have all that room to throw the ball. If I'm not getting hollered at by, I don't even know who that is. I think that's the DB, which is why I said all Madden sheds are crazy in practice mode. But I want to show you the second setup, and then after that we'll be right into gameplay. So we have cover two right here. Now if you know for a fact they're running cover two, then just take square, put them on a post, then take triangle, put them on a drag or a slant. I'm gonna put them on a drag again just because, and then we're going to go ahead and motion them across. Now what this is going to do is going to push that deep half to the middle of the field some, and then that's going to open up that throw right there on the sidelines where we actually get a nice toe tap animation. So let's go ahead and check out this gameplay. So right here you do see we have the gameplay. So we are playing the Seahawks. So with this first setup, it's going to be a little bit different than part one because I actually got into gameplay. This was actually my live gameplay. Excuse me, not live, freaking lab gameplay. So this is when actually I come in. So the way I do my formations is I kind of play around a little bit with it in practice mode, not much, not into details. I give it to you guys, but I kind of just, you know, kind of take a look at some of the plays. I might do like one or two setups, and after that I bring it into game mode. So right here you're going to be able to just tell like this is me just live labbing and giving you guys just my way of running it, and then I go into practice mode and I actually see like, okay, is there a better way to run it? And then if it is, then that's actually what I give you at the beginning of the video, and then you can actually see like, hey, you can still run these setups too, but here's a little better way to run them. So right here, the spacing play I was telling you about. So watch triangle. You can tell circle's going to get open, X is going to get open, but we also are going to be able to make that backside read to triangle, which, like I said, they do not want to play hard flats. Nobody wants to play hard flats versus gun empty bunch, I promise you. And look at this. So he's getting ready to blitz me, right? So you guys, this setup is really good versus the blitz. Why? Because we have a lot of areas we can hit quick. You see X could be open, you see triangles open, and if you paid attention long enough, you could tell square was actually going to be open on a backside in route. So I have a lot of you guys ask me, Rel, what about the blitz? Rel, what about the blitz? And you got to realize that all these setups I'm giving you, if you can pay attention, I have routes going at every area to field. I have somebody flat, I have somebody in the mid, and I have somebody going deep, and I have somebody going intermediate every single time, because that's really the best way to beat the blitz. You just have to make the reads, and as you can tell, this right here is trail. So all I did was took square, put him on a streak, take circle, put him on a slant, and I took my running back, put him on a flat route, and then I'm going ahead and motion him across. So like I said, if you use this with the setup that I gave you in practice mode, you can honestly just run this play. You can tell that corner route is just really, really good. They're pretty much going to have to zone drop, and they're going to be zone dropping regardless because of the offense that we're running. And most people just zone drop anyway. So you can tell right there, user has to go guard circle. So what? We're going to make that backside read a triangle. So like I told you guys, any spacing concept, normally your hard flats are always going to be open because nobody really wants to play hard flats. And if they play hard flats, then what? We'll just throw it the square. So you could really just dominate really running this play too. It's just really that good to where you force them to have to play certain coverage. And then also don't forget about quarterback draw. Now quarterback draw did get nerfed really bad, but it's still somewhat usable if you have, you know, Kyler Murray, or if you have somebody like, you know, Russell Wilson, you know, Lamar. If you have those type of quarterbacks, then it's going to be even better, but you definitely don't need it. But this is actually one of my favorite base setups because when they start zone dropping, then that X route is just really just going to get wide open because it is really hard to zone drop against that. Well, excuse me, it's really hard to cover that without zone dropping unless you just really know what you're doing, but most people really don't. So you can honestly get away running that setup a lot too. Now, like I said, this actually setup is actually something I like. So it's actually the same one from, well, similar to the divide wheel one, but I run it a little bit different now. But you can tell X is still going to get open. Even though I got an unfortunate animation, we were still able to catch the pass and just keep the chains moving. So right here, you're going to see going back to trail, and this is actually one of my favorite man beaters as well. So if I feel like they're playing man, I love this setup right here. We have a post with the backside slant, and circle actually can beat his man on the post depending on who you have. And also it's a good zone beater as well. You can tell triangle is going to get wide open. I waited for him to set up just because I could have threw it, you know, got a toe tap on the sideline, but I thought I'd be able to turn up field, get a one play touchdown out of it. But unfortunately, you know, we did get tackled, but it is whatever. So right here, spacing concept, I love it because triangle, you see how that defender out there actually suction to square. That's what I showed you guys in practice mode. So the things that I'm giving you guys, you can tell, you know, it actually works, you know. And inside the red zone, if you choose to run this formation, which I highly suggest you don't, then I suggest you just run quarterback draw when you're on like the, you know, 3-yard line, because honestly, you'll get it almost every time, to be real, unless they run commit or they just have a gap shoot. That's normally how that works. So right here, first, you can tell this is my favorite base play, because look, he has to guard square, and then X, if they don't zone drop right, we're gonna have that, you know. That's why I said it's really tough. And when they start trying to account for that, then I'll turn around and run spacing. So that's how you have to use that to kind of scheme your way to a victory, you know. So right here's trail, and all I did was take square, put him on a streak, and then I actually did a double drag concept where I motioned over my tight end. Now he's probably thinking we're trying to attack that right side. You see his users on that right side, so we're gonna make a left side read. So you could tell this offense is just picking on where your user is. So if I see him on the right side, I may make a left side read. If I see him on the left side, I'm able to make a right side read, because you never want to actually target a user. You want the user to have to choose. You know, you never want to have to read a user. You just want the user to choose, and you know you have to go to opposite side. That's normally the way that I make my reads. I think that's the key to success. So right here, I was actually playing around 4 verticals, so you're going to see some of my setups that I was playing around with. Right here, I decided to run it stock, and he did run man coverage, and triangle can beat his man. It's not an automatic man beater, but if you have somebody decent, you're pretty much going to win that matchup. Now, right here, decided to go back to Z spot, and for this setup, I figured it was going to be a man, so I'm kind of just playing around with see what I want to do, and I decided to go quarterback draw, try to ID his user right there. And like I said, a lot of times on Madden 22, you're going to get those fight forward animations, so if you have kind of a bigger quarterback that's pretty quick, just like Dak is, you normally will get it. Now, right here, 4 verticals, decided running stock. Now, I completely missed my read. I don't know what I was reading there, throwing blind. I had an X for a touchdown, but, you know, even good people still make mistakes, you know? So, just got to take it on the chin. Hey, you know, bounce back. So, right here, we are in trail, and all I did was take my flat route with my tight end, my running back, put him on a flat, motion over a slant, and like I said, triangle's going to be open. So if the user is nowhere on the left side, we're always going to make that left side read. Like I told you guys, we don't want to throw it at the user. We want to throw it away from the user. That's how you win. You want to play with the CPU. Don't play with the user, play with the CPU. But right here, I made another critical mistake. R1 is wide open. Look at the crazy swerve we get though, but R1 is wide open. So I'm hoping you guys can see my mistakes and then know you know how to capitalize on them. So that's why I love to show you guys everything. So right here is actually one of my favorite setups. Take R1, put him on in route, smart route is in route, and you want to take X, put him on a streak. Now it's a cover 3 killer because the safety cannot guard 2 vertical routes. It's the same way in real life. Safeties cannot guard that, and that's why it's gonna just be wide open depending on which side the safety's gonna favor, and they normally favor the wide receiver side. So right here, you can tell favorite setup, just stock, you know, because if they're playing any type of zone, X is just gonna be automatic. You know, if they do not use that, it's going to be automatic, and they can't really go user because they're going to be giving up a backside in route, which is why I said that combo right there is just really deadly. Now again, that play is called Z spot, in case I forgot to mention it. So right here, I'm kind of deciding what I want to do. Because I figure he's playing some type of cover 3 style, so I'm kind of just figuring out how exactly I want to target his cover 3. So normally I like to put a streak, and then right here I decided to put X on the in route instead of my R1. And right there, you could tell I could have possibly had R1, but I just got some type of crazy little nano where dude just didn't even block him. Not nano, disengage. Which is, you know, I mean, it's Madden 22 problems. But anyways, right here we're running trail. I went ahead and smart routed my routes so they can actually get ran to the sticks. Well, triangle, I smart routed his route. So I just got a simple backside slant. Now I seen the backside slant. I was going to hit it, but I seen I had pressure right there in my face, so I didn't even chance it. So 3rd and 30, you know, unfortunate. So I just take circle, put him on a streak. And at this point, I'm just trying to get back into field goal range simply just because we're already up, and I want to get 3 points. You know, I want that guaranteed victory. So right there, we are going to be able to get in field goal range, and we are going to go ahead and, are we going to knock down this field goal? Everything looks good. We should be able to knock this down. So we actually do knock down the field goal. So I hope you guys do enjoy this video. So I'm going to kind of show you guys just what happened right here. I kind of hate that this isn't a game, to be real, because it kind of limits your creativity, because you'll see right here exactly what I'm talking about. But I don't understand why this is in, because if he's trying to flip the ball, I feel like he should just be able to get it. Even though right there that kind of was dumb, he kind of went out of bounds, tried to flip it. But anyways, that's gonna wrap it up for this video. I do hope you have a blessed day. I'm Ray Drill, and I'm out.